Almost alive.
Yeah.
Well, good enough. You have
I
to
don't
work with
want
that
to
then.
die anymore. No, not anymore till tomorrow.
Yeah.
I saw the YouTube video you upload.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't have makeup, so next time.
Okay, that's very disrespectful to all the ladies who want to put on the war paint. I'll
No, kidding.
give you the heads up next
No,
time.
no.
You don't need makeup, Victoria. I was just dropping my 4-year-old to school, to creche, and he asked me, Daddy, what do you want to be when you grow up? It can be anything you want.
Would you repeat the question?
I said I was dropping my 4-year-old to creche, and he asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up, Daddy?
Okay.
I said, I don't know.
Still not enough loud, I think.
Hmm? Not loud enough.
Yes, not loud enough. Yeah.
Can you not hear me?
I hear you, but it's
a bit low.
Still the same.
Is it? Are other people having trouble hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah,
it's
it's
can
not
hear you.
loud, but it's okay.
It's a little soft.
Yeah.
But can hear you.
Okay.
Maybe it's better with headphones.
Okay, that's what I talk about. Anyway, I hear you, so no
Okay,
problem.
sorry about that. I don't know. My microphone is giving me a bit of trouble last day or two.
No, it's okay.
All right, okay. Anyway, so there's only what's appearing to happen. So there's only energy, boundless, unknowable energy. That's all there is nothing being everything, everything being nothing. There's not two separate things. There's not everything and nothing. There's not life and death. There's just energy. And that sense of there being opposites, of there being life and death, of there being good and bad, of there being special and not special, of there being inner and outer, up and down, so on, so on, so on, comes from the sense of feeling like you're a person in the world, a sense of being separate to a world that's out there, a sense that there's life and my life. And what's being suggested here is that that's totally and utterly artificial. It's a complete, total story. That there is no separation, and there never ever has been. There's only ever been nothing, which is everything, and everything, which is nothing, which is energy, which is completely unknowable and is just whatever appears to be. So whatever appears to be is everything being nothing, and nothing being everything. Hands, computer, seat, blah, blah, blah. In that everything being nothing, it appears that there's this sense that there's a separate person. There's a person who has a life, and there's life, and they have a life. There's a world, and there's them. There's a dualism. The person is the duality, is the play of opposites. And that is a really felt feeling for the person. It's a lived reality. It's not an idea or a concept, or it's a lived feeling of being in the body, contracted sense of being in the body, and negotiating a world, relating to a world, moving through a world. And that's very, very dissatisfying. Or there's an agitation in that, and there's a sense of dissatisfaction when there's a sense that there's a meeting of other, be it a person or a thing, an experience. There's a sense of dissatisfaction with that. That there's me and there's that other. So there's me and that there's my friend. There's me and my blah blah blah. Me and my dog. Me and the tree. Always me. And that sense of me, that sense of being me, is actually just a false addition to what's appearing to happen. There's what appears, and then there's a sense of me. So there's looking, and there's looking at a tree, and then there's me looking at the tree. And what's being shared here is that sense of you looking at the tree is a story. It's artificial. It's not real. So there's no agenda here. There's no goal here. This is just a sharing from nothing. And it's really to do with an energetic resonance. What's being shared here can resonate. It's not about understanding. There's nowhere to get to with this. There's nothing to understand. There's nothing to know. It's completely unknowable. But what is shared can resonate. It can resonate. And that sense of feeling that there's a separate you can dissipate or melt or fall away. And in that, it's seen paradoxically that you never were there. So you never did melt, you never did fall away, you never did dissipate, because that sense of being separate was always a story, it was always artificial. And it's then very obvious. The obviousness of what's being said here is just stunning. It's so obvious and ordinary, because it already is all that is and appears to be already. And it's always been that. What you've been as a person looking for has always been nothing other than what has appeared to be. So if there's a question or a comment, you can put your hand up. It's the best way. And yeah, let's see what happens. Hi, Melody.
Hi. Hi, Kenneth. Would you say it's like a living with no concept at all?
Yeah, all concepts are just seen to be just concepts. That's all they are. So they're all sense that of living in accordance with beliefs and all of that just totally collapses. And it's total and utter, complete poverty. You don't have anything, nothing. There's no way that you see the world, or that nothing that you subscribe to in terms of morality or ethics or spiritual beliefs or anything. Nothing. You're left with nothing at all. There might be still things that you would resonate a bit more than other things, but you don't have them. And then it's just total poverty. It's nothing. Everything is nothing. Nothing. Everything is totally empty. And in that emptiness is complete fullness. And that's unconditional love. Nothing being everything. And it's seen that any concept or belief system or whatever, it's just simply a thing that arises. It's just a thought or an idea that the person has.
But still there are thoughts about the past.
Well, here they're just thoughts. The person would think that there are thoughts about the past. That the past is a real thing. That there is no past. Past is a story. But the person does feel, it's a really felt feeling of there is the present, there's the future, and there's the past. And that the particular thoughts I have are thinking about the past. But even if you look at it discerningly, there is no place called the past, and the thought you have about the past is a thought that arises.
Yeah,
It just
that's
has
very-
a different quality. It has a kind of a little bit of a different quality to it than a thought of, oh look, there's a bird. You know, it's, oh, I remember that time that they did that to me, and it feels real, and it has a different kind of a little bit of a different quality to it. That all falls away when the sense of self falls away, and if there's something that apparently happened, it would just be another thought. It would just be a thought. There would be no lived sense that there was something that happened. And this is the other aspect of this. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. This is cruel for the person because they live in something. They live in a sense that they live in a world and something's happening to them. And this is nothing appearing to happen, which is obviously completely, totally, and utterly beyond understanding.
Thank you.
Thanks. William.
Hi, Kenneth.
Oh, yeah.
So you were saying in the introduction that when the sense of self falls away, it's kind of revealed that what was being looked for the whole time was just whatever was happening.
Apparently falls away. I think I did say that too.
So okay.
It appears to fall away. And it's seen that it never was.
But when you say it's seen that what was always looked for was just whatever appeared to be happening, my mind goes straight away. How can that be enough?
Okay. Yeah, but it's never enough. Like nothing is ever enough for the person. Nothing is, this could not be enough for the person ever. Like sitting on a seat and looking out a window, it just simply could never, ever be enough for the person. I'm just saying that, or looking at a computer screen, sitting on a seat, because the person is that dualism of special, not special, and it feels that it's moving towards something special all the time, and what appears to be happening is mostly rejected in favor of something that could be. So what is and isn't is not, it can't be seen by the person, and the person is not being spoken to here at all because it's not recognized, because it's seen as nothing but a story, an artificial story. And then when that sense of being separate isn't there anymore, it's seen that it was always a story, and that this ordinary, let's call it ordinary aliveness, energy, is totally beyond words. It's completely, to call it stunning is doesn't even come close. And it's also just nothing at all. It's indescribable, but not for anybody.
Yeah.
So there's simply that boundless is-ness, that boundless is-ness. And then there's no sense of you being in there that's experiencing that boundless is-ness. And all the time, all there is boundless is-ness, actually, because the sense of separation is artificial. So it's already just sitting on a chair, looking at a computer screen, an idea, a thought, a sensation, a feeling.
Yeah, because sometimes when I'm in a situation and there's this whole energetic sense, which can be accompanied with thoughts that this isn't it, I need to get something. Somewhere there's still, like now there's like a sort of, it's becoming more obvious that even if I got whatever I thought needed to happen, it's like it's not actually needed.
No, it would never satiate. No, it would never satisfy. It's completely the bottomless bowl of separation. Nothing can fill the bowl. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And that's what's being shared here is that actually it's not that you're looking for something to fill that sense, because nothing will fill it. Nothing, no experience, because it will all be in that transient linear dream. It will appear to satiate or satisfy for a while, and then it'll be okay, it's around the next corner again. And actually what's being shared here is that it's not that there's something that will satiate you, it's that there is no you. That so that nothing will satisfy. It's it's a loss. If you want to look at it in those terms, it's an apparent loss of that sense of being a person.
And
so
then it's
that's the amazing thing is that people think that what they're looking for involves getting something, an experience, a state, money, power, whatever their thing is, because it's apparently different for everyone. They think it's about getting something, and actually it involves losing something that was completely artificial. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's stunning. It's just this. It's just this. Just this. It's always just, it's inescapable. It's not in a Zoom meeting. It's not in a book. It's not in a video. And it is in that because there's nothing but whatever appears to be. But this is boundless, unconditional love. It's already just what appears to be.
And so then when there's no longer that appearance of there being a separate person, there's no longer a kind of sense that this is lacking in any way.
No lack in anything, because everything is nothing. Everything is totally and utterly empty. It's nothing. It's no thing. And no thing is everything. Boom. I mean, what could be lacking in everything? What could be lacking in boundless, total, the sense of lack comes from a sense of separation, yeah. And then that's what's appearing to happen then.
Intellectually, I can go there with you, like, of course, if this is everything, it can't be lacking. But energetically, I'm thinking, well, how could that ever be the case?
Well, thinking, like, if we go back to what I said at the beginning, that this is nothing to do with understanding or knowing. So,
yeah.
I mean, this is not a logical communication. Like, this is, the person wants linear, logical, understandable, give me something here. There's nothing on offer here for anybody, which is compassion, true compassion, because it's seeing that there is nobody.
And so
this is, it's always said at the beginning and throughout the meeting, this is a resonance. It's to do with a resonance, and an energetic resonance that has nothing to do with understanding. So any thoughts you have there that arise are simply that thought. There's not going to be some big resolution to it. There's not going to be a big an answer to the questions that will satiate the person. It's that sense of being a person can be seen to be artificial at any time. It can it's always just boom anyway, because there is no time. It's only time in the story. So that can, and then there's just what appears to be happening then.
Yeah, and so as long as I feel like a separate person, there's always going to be disbelief about what you're saying, because when you're saying that,
yeah, of course there will be, yeah, and don't believe it. Like, don't believe. You're not being asked to believe anything. Someone who believes anything that's been said here it's completely irrelevant. Like, that would just be someone taking on another concept then.
Yeah, because
like,
I can't.
What would that be? Like the non-dual club then? Let's all believe we're not here. Great, happy days. And we'll get some rules. Let's draw up a rule book, or a code of conduct for nobody. This is the kind of bullshit that happens as well. Like, people speak in non-dual terms. The person appearing as Kenneth, blah blah blah, and it's also, there's nothing to believe in. Everything is stunningly meaningless. It's incredibly, beautifully meaningless. And then the person adds meaning to everything because it's an abstraction for them that, as they feel separate, they put a meaning on it.
Yeah, because the thing that I find hardest, I know you've said not to believe anything, but the thing that I just can't believe at all is that the sense of self could just fall away and no longer reappear.
Yeah, it doesn't even fall away though. It's because it's not even there already. There's already nobody there. There's just someone nodding their head and there's words coming out and they're sitting on a couch. That's all there is.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, William. Hi, Marketa. Probably going to need to mute yourself there, though, because
Again, I forgot to unmute myself. Hello, Kenneth.
I,
Yeah, I'm from the Czech. Well, where I'm from, we are not used to asking like so much. How are you? And everything is fine. So sorry, I don't ask that. Yeah.
you can dispense with the formalities. It's okay. I'm not anyway. Like, I mean, when people all ask me that question, actually, I'm not anyway at all. So it's just a thing that people say, isn't it? Like, I'm good, thank you.
No, I noticed that,
I'm
like, you
never
know,
anyway,
like I
anyway.
noticed that, like English and American, they always
it's
ask
just
that.
it's kind of it's a social thing. When someone in England or America is asking how you are, they're not really asking how you are.
That's what we've been told. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
not
that,
really.
but
No, it's
it does
just a
make me
thing.
feel impolite a bit because I really don't have this urge to ask. You know, we just don't do that in like.
Interesting. I didn't really know that. So.
So straight to the question. Then there is still this one thing I'm like really wondering about. Like, so how are evil things viewed? You know, like there are so many bad, apparently bad things happening.
Like in the story, it's seen as a story. So there's things that happen in the story that would appear as terribly bad, like really, really bad. And it's just people, when people hear this, because the person lives in opposites or is the play of opposites, what they think you're saying is that, okay, that means bad things are good then. So that's not what's being said here. What's being said is that bad and good are a story. They're a play of opposites in the story, and everything just is and isn't. And so
Yeah, but
it appears as a terrible thing that someone did, and the person cannot understand at all that that's just a story or that's what's appearing to happen. It's very, very confronting to the person.
But when there is no sense of me,
yeah,
and when it is seen, then there is something really horrible happening.
But
like,
it's just what appears to happen. It's what
is
is appearing
so does it
to happen. It's
so
not
does
good
it
or bad. It's what's appearing to happen, and that could be that apparently bad thing could, for the character, could be directly apparently happening for them, and it would be what is appearing to happen. It's not bad or good. I can't
like
really
even
explain it anymore than that.
like even if you are thinking of like second, like the wars, you know, First World War, Second War, any kind of war,
appeared to happen. Yeah,
that's what appeared to happen.
What appeared to happen. There was a beautiful description by a writer in the First World War. It was I can't remember who it was. I saw a documentary about a lot of the writers and poets who came out of the First World War, and a lot of them, a lot of people wrote poetry, and some of it's just amazing. But one really struck me, and he said he was on the frontier, or on the not the frontier. What's the word? On the
the trenches.
The trench, in the trenches, yeah. It would be the frontier, wouldn't it? And so they were fighting. He was fighting with England, and the Germans they were all just entrenched for months and months and months. And what he wrote was, there is no Germany and there is no England. There is no them and there is no us. There is no other. There is just energy appearing as a monstrous. That's the way. It's very clear to him that there was no enemy. There was no enemy, and it was amazing. It wasn't. This was just in a documentary. It wasn't about non-duality or anything like that. And he described it as it's just this energy. It's just an energy, and all there is energy. And energy can be anything. It can be the absolute massacre of World War I, and that's what's appearing to happen. It is anything and everything that appears. And that's beyond the mind. That is totally and utterly, completely beyond any understanding. Because the understanding is the play of opposites. The mind moves in opposites. So there was these things. The other aspect of it is that these are events that happened and they're in the past. And when there's no longer a sense of self, it's that was an appearance. You could say it was and it wasn't. It was and it wasn't. It was just a play of energy. And there's no back then or now or future. There's just energy.
So for the person reacts really strongly to what they let's say see. If they react to when what they see is really bad, and they react to what they see, they
appear to
consider
react to everything. Yeah, the person feels that they're living in a world that's outside of them, and that they are interacting, relating, and reacting to it. That's the way it feels. It's an embodied sense that I'm here, I have a life, and things are happening to me. And what's being said here is that that's a story, that's artificial, that's an appearance.
So the difference is like relating to what's appearing to her. Yeah, no, I understand.
Well, relating, it's separate things. That
like the person relates to
I
everything,
relate to
isn't
something.
it?
I relate to everything. Not only people. I relate to people. As a person, I relate to people, but I relate to the tree also, because I'm seeing the tree. And when I'm seeing the tree has not been seen. Actually, it's been imprisoned apparently in that subject-object reality, which is artificial, because there's actually just life tree, life personing, and you never see, as a person, you never see things as they actually are.
Yeah, you say
possible.
say this quite often, and I'm like, I wish.
Yeah.
I wish I understood it, or I saw it. So I wish I was able to see the things the way they are. Thank you so much, Kenneth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Hi, Monica. You need to unmute yourself, Monica.
Sorry, I would like to I would like to ask you, because now you speak with Marketa, and I would like to know something. I have a sense of I, so I know that there is me, and but I am not reacting almost of anything. I don't know what's happened. If it's because my son died, I don't know. But since this time, if something I see which is really bad and I will be exactly in this situation, my reaction can be different, But when the people speak about this is bad and you can't do this, and even you see in TV some horrible things, or I don't know, I can't find anyone who can react. But I cannot say even is it bad, but I cannot say even is it good, It's something like
it's just what appears to be happening.
Yeah, but I have a sense of I am not like you, that there is no sense of I still feel separate, but it's something like that there is no one who is connected with situation where if they are good or bad. And the same I have that you spoke that there is the person it's never satisfied. The person is never filled. And when you speak about this, I don't know even what that means, filled, because I cannot say that I'm filled or that I'm not filled, and I'm not even looking for something.
Yeah, I think what sometimes, I'm not sure what's appearing to happen here, but sometimes this can be very obvious, and there can be a narrative that continues to go that, oh, I'm still a separate person. But I'm still a separate person, because it's such a conditioned response that, well, I'm still a separate person.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's almost like a reflexive, just kind of, well, I'm still here. Okay. Are you ready though?
Yes.
And I've seen that quite a few times, that people would, there's a real resonance that there's just what is appearing to be only, but then this narrative kind of appears to continue over that. Well, I'm still here. I'm pretty sure I'm still here, but everything is different in a way than it was before. Because
Yeah.
there's only what appears to be. Don't feel I'm trying to get anywhere, but that kind of me can just appear to kind of keep to kind of still kind of
Yeah,
narrate
because for
everything, but it's not, it can be very obvious that that's that reporting of, well, I'm still a separate person, that can just, okay, well, oh, am I separate? I don't know. I don't, like, this isn't, I don't know anything that it's just, it's obvious of whatever's appearing to happen.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, but you know, this is, if I start to think even about this, I really can't find anyone who wants something or doesn't want, you know. I even cannot say what that means, fill in, you know. And I remember before that I wanted things, not so much, but I wanted to manage this, and I was exactly, no, I knew before exactly this is good and this is no good, you know. And now even about politics situation, about everything, what is the worst, that I have no even any opinion, because the people ask me, what do you think about vaccination, you know? And actually, I don't know if it's good or no good. I even don't think about this.
Just what's appearing to happen.
And if I try to find answer I don't know what to think about this. And I have this about many other things, you know. If the people ask me, I actually really don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think that would be what I would say, is that I've seen, sometimes it can be that sense of being separate just isn't really there, but then there still seems to be a story of, well, I'm still separate. And that's just
because before, all my life, I was not spiritual, but really, I believe only of myself, that everything what I do, I must do. You know, I really believe that there are person who makes the world, who makes the business, who makes everything, you know. So it was very strong for me, you know. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I was just thinking, if I am not sometimes like crazy, or that I don't know even what I have to think about vaccination, you know. So okay.
Well, that's the dichotomy in life, is that you have to be, the polarized nature of the way things are, is you have to be kind of in one camp or another, and we've seen that play out all the time. You're either with me or you're against me. So your vaccination, are you pro-vaccination? Are you anti-vaccination? So then I can relate then, because if you're pro-vaccination and I'm pro-vaccination, then you're good. I'm good. Everything's good. If you're anti-vaccination, that's also good, because I can now argue with you. But if you're, I don't know, it's like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, get an opinion, will you, please?
I even cannot say
people, that really pisses people off, actually. It's like, just
but what is worse, I even cannot say that I don't know. Even the saying I don't know, it's not what I want to say, you know.
I know,
and
I hear what you're saying.
And the same is this relationship, you know. If I meet people I like, I have some friends, we have children to go to school and everything, but I don't feel a relationship, you know.
A relationship.
Yeah,
but there is none.
Yes,
there is, because separate things relate. So there's mothering appears to happen. Appears to happen. And that's just life mothering. But then what happens then is the apparent individual thinks, I am a mother, and that is my son or my daughter. And then that's that layer and layer of neurosis. And the amazing thing is, you're not in there doing anything.
Okay, thank you, Kenneth.
Thanks, Monica.
Thanks very much.
Hi, Victoria. You're not muted. You're not unmuted. You need to mute yourself or unmute yourself. I'm beginning to see a recurrent theme here.
I want to die again.
Okay.
I'm blonde anyway. So I just want to ask, how do people feel separation? What is this feeling? Or
it's not describable really, but the closest I could come is a sense that there's a world out there and there's a me in here. So
but
there's
I
an
don't.
embodied sense of feeling that you have a life and that you are speaking, you are hearing, you are touching, you are smelling, you are you, that it's all, there is a you in there. I don't know, that's about as close as I can say.
Okay, so I don't know this
Yeah.
feeling somehow. Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Hi, Philip. You need to unmute yourself.
He is unmuted, but the mic seems not to work.
Oh, you're right, actually, yeah. You're like me, I was having trouble with mine last day or two. Philip. You're go on, say something. Hello. No, can't hear you. Yeah, there's something I miss, apparently.
It's funny. It's a consistent theme today, this thing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Can you do sign language, Philip? You know sign, international sign. Okay, yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. Which is it, this one or this one? Both of them. Yeah. Hi, Mats.
Hello. Now I'm muted with a working microphone, right? So it was very interesting to hear Monica's story, because it seems like, looks like that for me also, similar to that there seems to be a me in a way, but I don't consider it a problem anymore. I don't really care if it's, do I still have a me? Well, so what?
Yeah, it's just what's appearing to happen. Yeah.
So
That's the way it is. It can often be that this resonates and there's whatever's appearing to happen. And in that, then there appears to be a sense of me. And then that just is also what's appearing to happen. And then it just plays out as it plays out then.
So then I have a question now. What is it like for you, so to speak? Is there any self-reflection going on sometimes?
No.
No, never.
No.
So, for example, if someone comes and blame you for something, there wouldn't be some thoughts about, yeah, maybe he or she
there
has
could
a
absolutely be like someone say, Kenneth, blah, blah, blah. And Kenneth to go, oh God, yeah, I'm an asshole, sorry.
Without
that
any...
was Kenneth being an asshole again, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
and
but
that's what would appear to be happening, but there wouldn't be somebody who's reflecting on themselves, because there's no longer a sense of somebody who's that's doing anything. So there's only what appears to be happening.
But there must be some kind of, sometimes you have to get the facts straight, and then you can say, yes, I was an asshole. But before that, there has to be some...
It's better just to admit it straight away, Matt. Are you married, are you?
No, I'm not. No, I didn't have that practice.
You have a lot to learn. Just, okay, sorry. Yeah, no, terrible.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm not married then.
Maybe that's why, yeah, you're always wrong. Just admit it and move on.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there literally is just what's appearing to happen. And in that happening, then there could be things that someone would say, Kenneth, you did do this, or Kenneth, you didn't do this. And then there would be an apparent response then going, oh God, I forgot to do that, or no, you're right about that, okay, but there's no sense of there's someone in there reflecting on anything, or it's the exact same. Everything is the exact same as it was, it's just simply there's only what's appearing to happen.
I get it now.
And there's no kind of fighting against anything, or kind of there's no position to defend. So there's if someone comes with a critical point, there could appear to be a defense of it, going, no, well, I think of it differently, or no, that's not the way I see it, but that's also just what appears to happen.
There is this story, if a man says something in the woods and no woman hear him, is it still wrong?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Hi, William.
Hi, Kenneth. What you were just saying to Matt's there about it kind of plays out how it plays out, that's what's frustrating me, because there's times where it might be for a couple of hours or whatever, where there's no sense of any need, no sense of anything missing. I suppose it could be a glimpse, I'm not sure. It's not that that's known that, there's nothing missing, but there's just whatever's happening. And then suddenly there'll be a returning to, I need this, or this is missing, or this should be happening. But what's frustrating me, when you said to Matt about how it plays out, I'm thinking it's just so unpredictable in terms of how everything plays out. Like when the me's just there actively going, I need this, I need that, and if that will ever fall away. Well, you said it doesn't actually fall away, but
see, the person lives in the predictable. So the person lives in the known, right? So they live in a sense that they're moving through life in time, and that they know what's appearing to happen to a certain degree. Or if they don't know it, bring it into the known by either kind of protecting themselves from it and or else kind of knowing it. That's the kind of whole energy. And then they living in that known is that things are predictable. And that predictability is an aspect of the person protecting themselves. The sense of repetition is a sense, is to do with the person living in their loop of knowing. So that kind of sense of, oh, it's Wednesday again, this is what happens on Wednesday, I went there, I went down to the supermarket, I know the supermarket, I know what it's like to go down to the supermarket. I got a call from this, I did this in work, I know what that's like, and that's happening again, and it's happening again, and it's happening again, and it's happening again. And it's very unsatisfying. It's very unsatisfying perception. Because nothing is happening again and again. Nothing, there is no repetition. There's absolute energy, boundless, unknowable energy, which is nothing being everything, which is always new. It's always new. This has never happened like this again. It's not, nothing will repeat. It could appear to repeat, but nothing actually repeats. So
in this sense,
yeah.
I was going to say, so when there's the sense of a person, there's the sense that I've been here before, this is known, or at least if it hasn't, it will create some story or try and pull in something from the past to kind of give itself an orientation of how things will go.
Yeah, I think what I was coming to from that is you were saying about the predictability of it. That predictability is an aspect of feeling like you, because nothing is knowable or predictable at all. It might seem predictable, like there are apparent patterns in life, and things seem to have a certain pattern, and you think it might appear to go a certain way, but everything's always new. So your idea of what's being said here and your concept of what's being said here is complete rubbish. It's like you're thinking about that there's some kind of state of oneness that Kenneth is speaking about that you're not quite at yet, which is just a lovely way of the person just keeping themselves safe. Because there is no state of oneness, there is no experience of oneness, there's only already just whatever appears to happen.
Yeah, what you said there about the repetition was lovely, because I remember, I think I heard it either on a meeting or in a YouTube video where you said that you remember being struck like shortly after the self appeared to fall away that you'd never tied your shoelaces before.
Yeah.
And that resonated with a glimpse from some years ago where I was going up the same stairs that I've been up hundreds of times, and it was just like I've never seen, like it was completely new.
Yeah. Everything is always new though. Everything, like this is nothing being everything, which is always new. Everything. Always. It's inescapable. Everything is always just new.
So even though the person is protected, because you said that predictability is a way to protect itself, but would you say the person is actually longing for the unknowability and the unpredictability?
What's being longed for always is just whatever appears to be, but it's not you. It's not the individual who's longing for that. The individual is just an artificial happening that's just being an individual. It's not, because that's why the individual isn't being spoken to here at all, because it's seen as nothing but artificial. What's longed for is just whatever is already. And also what's feared most is just for there to just be this already, because that would mean you're absent. And then that you fear your own absence more than anything.
And what is already...
So that's the paradox, is what's yearned for and what's feared most is the same. It's your own absence. It's what's yearned for is your own absence, and what's feared most is your own absence.
That absolutely resonates.
And then when you're not, when there is your absence, it's seen you were never there anyway, and it's it's just then whatever's appearing to happen.
And whatever's appearing to happen is just completely unpredictable, unknowable.
Well, of course it is. Yeah, of course. It's completely unknowable, because there's no you there that's separate from it to know it. There's just now speaking, hand, computer,
Even the
words,
sense,
sounds. There's just whatever appears to be. But and that's the way it is then. There's just whatever appears to be, but there's no sense of there being a you in there. Like even describing it as there's no longer a Kenneth anymore. It's all, that's even a little bit confusing because you can't claim your own absence. Of course you can't. Like even someone says, well, I'm not here anymore. It's a paradox. I mean, that's fine to say that, and it's totally, I say it as well. But like even it's another way of saying it is there's just what's appearing to happen. That's all there is. And there's no sense that there's a you in there that's happening to.
because
It's very
even
simple, it's very ordinary.
even when I ask a question, there's some assumption of I've got an idea or like a prediction of what Kenneth's going to respond. But if I or anyone else asks a question, even if apparently we've asked you questions before, I'm assuming there's no idea of, oh, I know where this question's going.
You've never asked me a question before. Nobody's ever asked me a question. Nobody's ever asked, this has never happened. So like, that's why people say, do you not get bored of the same questions that come from me? But what about this and what about that? How could you? It's just stunning. And no, I've never been asked this. I've never said this before. There is no before.
Yeah. It's great. I can't understand it at all, but it is great.
Good. That's good starting point. Marquetta, are we going to upload the video like this? Yeah, I had been spotlighting the video, but I think people get very bored looking at my ugly mug all the time. So some people had said to me to put it up the screen. So I'm giving it a go because in my email I say that a consent piece. If somebody has any does not want that, or just email me and I can. But it is in the email to say, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I have no idea.
Can I just say something? It's I mean, I probably don't mind. I'm not too sure. It's just that I was used to the fact that I couldn't be seen.
Okay, yeah.
So that's probably why I'm asking.
Oh yeah.
I preferred it the way it was before.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
And I'm also typing actually a question. Another question is just came to my mind. So synchronicity is also just a concept,
Story,
isn't it?
yeah, it's an idea. It's another story.
It's just only that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
It's connections. Like it's the person feeling that there's connections between things, just in the same way that relating to people is artificial. There's no connections. There's no relating because it's only separate things that relate to each other. When there is no separation, there's just energy. So there's nothing that relates to something else because there is nothing else. There's no here and there because it's just energy.
But also, could it be
synchronicity is something like this is happening and it's related to this happening. In actuality, this is nothing. There's nothing happening. This is nothing appearing to happen.
Could it be said, like when you were talking about this unpredictability, that like really things which seem impossible can happen? Just
it's stunning. Like it's amazing what can appear to happen. It's amazing. It's stunning what can appear to happen.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. No, because I don't know how to translate it, but in my language we have this kind of saying, and I don't know how the tool actually said in English, like when you want to kind of dig in the garden, when you want to like not dig a hole, but like dig in, let's say in the soil. And there's this saying, like, if maybe it's the same with the Arabic God willing, isn't it? Can it be like, no, I don't. I probably can't express myself. Thank you very much. It's okay.
Are there many people dying around you? I've got a question. So what I said at the start was that sense of being a person is artificial. So in actuality, nothing even happens. So it's not that there's a person, a separate person who then melts away or falls away, and then there's just oneness. I did say this, and I always say this, that it's seen when there is no longer anybody, that there never was anybody. So nothing even happened. This is being shared from nothing. It's not Kenneth's message. It's nobody. There's no authority. It's completely from nothing, and it resonates. It totally resonates, and I hear that it resonates a lot. And there's people who say they've heard this, and then they don't feel like a person anymore. But that's nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with anybody. It's just what appears to be happening. And then that didn't even happen. Because if it was a happening, then it would be a whole other thing that would, like, Kenneth would put up testimonials on his website that I listened to Kenneth and I no longer feel separate and I live in a beautiful, blissful oneness bubble or something like that. And that's why there's no kind of trying to pick out somebody who this kind of had an apparent effect on and then get them to talk about it. It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. It just resonates. And from this perspective, there is already only wholeness. There is already only nothing being everything. So it's only an appearance. When someone says, "Oh, I'm not there anymore," it's like, okay, there you go. It's very obvious. There's no, you were never there anyway. So it's not a numbers game. But it is resonating more and more. It does seem, I hear from more and more people, it just boom, just bang, either through watching a video on YouTube or maybe a Zoom talk or whatever it is, and it's resonating. Hi, Yasmin.
Hi, Kenneth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Great. Just wanted to say regarding the repetition and the apparent, like, relating or seeing patterns, I think, could it be like it's an apparent brain function that, like, there's this this function of the brain to look for patterns, to look for,
keep itself safe.
Yeah.
A sense of repetition.
To see repetition, to see the patterns or
but the patterns
differences.
can still be seen. Like, patterns can still be seen, but it's all seen as new. But that sense of it's more that sense of, oh, this is this again now. I know this. I think it's going back really more accurately to the sense of knowing. So it's Monday and I'm in work again. Oh, it's Monday and I'm in work again. I know what it's like to be in work on Monday, and there's all this sense of a feeling that goes with that and everything. There is no Monday, there is no work, and there's just, everything is new, and that's everything is just new. So the apparent pattern could be seen that there's driving to somewhere and there's apparent work going on and it's apparently Monday. So that's all still seen, but there's not a sense that it's real and that it's now happening again and it's the same. It's that sense of sameness to everything that the person has. People, as an apparent separate person, there's a sense of living in the real. So I live in the real, I'm real, and the world is real, and I interact and relate to people. And there's a sense of, there's a very unsatisfying sense that things are just related to from that subject-object reality. And what's being shared here is that that's a total story. There's no subject. It's not that, like, the separate objects can start to fall away as, oh God, the tree is no longer a separate object, the car, the person, it's not that the objects have to kind of be seen as no longer separate. It's that subject, that sense of being a separate person is no longer, and then there are obviously no objects, because there can only be an object when there's a subject.
And so also the meaning kind of falls away in terms of
Meaning
what
is
you were saying,
inherent in
Monday. Okay,
activity.
I know it's Monday, but it doesn't mean anything that it's
Yeah,
Monday
yeah.
or that I'm at work or whatever.
That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
They're all aspects of the same thing, really. Like the meaning and the knowing is it's all an aspect of the same sense of feeling separate, that you know it's Monday and it's in that sense of knowing that that person keeps themselves secure and safe. And like feeling like a person, feeling like a separate person is a sense of kind of being in this bubble of me in which you're protected in the world from things outside of me. And it feels safe. And that's to do also with that sense of pulling in comfort and pushing away discomfort. It's trying to make that bubble as comfortable as possible. And it's only then, the difficulty with that is it's only a half alive feeling. And there then seems to be, there's something not quite right with it. In the same way that people say, go on prescription medication to not feel anxiety, not feel pain, not feel all of these things. And then they're kind of wondering why is it that I don't feel joy, I don't feel pleasure, I don't feel all these things. It's because you're trying to, it's a half alive thing. You're trying to, that's not it, it's only this. And so everything is kind of numb for them then. That kind of is reflective of that energy of the person who wants to do that. And when it's seen then, the everything is it then. And that's amazing. That's stunning. The pain,
the discomfort as well,
discomfort
like becomes okay in a certain way, right?
Stunning. It's amazing. Of course it is, because it's energy, it's oneness, it's discomfort's happening. And that sense of pushing away things, that all collapses and is only just everything and nothing. Everything being nothing and nothing being everything.
And anxiety could still arise. Anxiety could arise. As everything.
Anything can arise. Anything. It's oneness. What's anxiety, confusion, anything? The person feels that what's being suggested here is maybe some state of oneness where everything is clear, everything is comfortable, everything is great, and that nothing bad happens. That's complete bullshit. This is amazing. It's stunning. When that sense of being a person is no longer there, and whatever arises is it. It's just a total adventure for nobody. It's total free fall. It's stunning.
But doesn't, in a way, anxiety also involve like a worry about the future, or? Well,
anxiety is mainly coming from the sense of being a person. A kind of continual sense of anxiety is about there being feeling like a person. Anxiety doesn't happen for me anymore because there's no me to be anxious. But what I'm saying is that any kind of a feeling could happen. Anything could happen, but it would no longer happen for me, and then for the me, and then therefore it's just there and not there, and boom.
There would be an anxious feeling or a fear or whatever.
It could be fear,
and it's
of
all
course.
and
it would be more intense. It would actually be more intense. The fear would be more felt because you're not there filtering fear. And it's seen, well, life, that's fear. Fear is happening. Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
I'm going to finish up, guys. Thanks very, very much. I'll put a link in the chat if anyone wants to contribute for PayPal. And it was really lovely. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kenneth.
Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kenneth.
Thanks. Bye-bye.